All right, I do. I have a blue pen right here. But the problem is it's running out and it's thin, so it's hard to read. See, like I wrote that on here. All right.
You should just price yourself on blue pens.
Just, just treat myself. All right, so today's 5-5, we're talking about systems of equations. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be solving problems that involve two variables, where we've got an x and a y we're solving for instead of just an x. It is not super challenging, but there are a lot of different ways to make mistakes. So I'm going to write out this and this. I think for the next, just so you know, I think for the next few, week or so, I'm going to have you in here and helping. So make sure that you're paying attention too, especially tomorrow and the next day. No, I'm just going to call that x. Have a good day, Jace. All right, this one's going to be x minus 3. All right, now there are 3 different ways that you can solve a system of equations. One is by something called substitution, where you plug one thing into another and then solve it. Another is by elimination. You figure it out?
Yeah, it was the very last category I added them all.
Got it. All right. There's also something called elimination, where you can multiply by a number and cancel stuff out really easily. Those are more algebraic ways. Today we're going to be doing this by graphing. What does y equals negative 3x plus 1 look like if you graph it? I don't even mean like where it starts and what's the slope. I mean, what's the shape of it? Yeah?
It starts at, the top one?
Yeah.
It goes down 3 to the right 1, and then the slope, the y is 1.
Right, but what's the shape of what we're drawing?
Square.
It's just a line. What do you mean a square? Just saying things? Avery, what are you writing down? What are you keep looking at something? Okay. All right. She's doing this. And then writing stuff down, and I'm like, all right. So this is a line, a straight line, right? And you're right, it does start at 1 and then it goes down 3 over 1, but it's a straight line. Okay? So look at my hands. So if I've got a straight line here and a straight line here, and they cross, that's going to be the answer, okay? It's where they're both true. It's that point where they cross, that x, y point. So you're going to have an x and a y you're solving for. So what we're going to be doing is graphing these lines and seeing where they cross. So example 1. You're really going to want a ruler for this. If up until now you've been like, I don't need a ruler, because who cares if my lines are straight? It's going to really suck when you get the wrong answer because your lines aren't straight. So go get one if you meant to have one all along. All right, so who is going to tell me how to graph these two lines? I will give you a delightful prize. A disturbing looking moose, or a giraffe, or a lion, or a polar bear, ooh, or a tiger, or a bouncy ball, or an Emma winner sign. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. Five.
Oh, that's me.
That's you.
So are we doing first? Am I doing both?
Yep.
Okay. So for the first one, you start at positive 1,
Mhm.
like that, and then you put a 1 under the negative 3. So then you go from that point, you go down 3 and then over 1.
Mhm. Do that a few times. Down 3 over 1. So the y-intercept is positive 1, and then the slope is down 3 over 1 every time. How about the other one?
Sorry, so you start, negative 3, so you just go down from the center line.
Yeah, and if you're confused about that, it might help to make this plus a negative 3, so the y-intercept is negative 3, not positive 3. And then you're going to do what?
You have a 1 beside the x, so you do 1 over 1, so then it's, you go up 1 over 1 a bunch of times.
Beautiful.
Does that mean that the y-intercept is,
3.
like 0, 3, 3, 0?
The y-intercept of that line was 0, negative 3.
Yeah, that. That's correct.
Yes. So the final answer for this is what?
0, negative 3.
No. Okay. So when you said y-intercept, I thought you were talking about like here's the line and there's the y-intercept, which it is.
Oh, then it's
0, negative 3. But we're talking about where they cross. Where do they cross, Riley? Close. The x comes first. 1, negative 2. All right. So the answer to this problem is 1, comma, negative 2. And you do not have an answer unless you have both of those points or both of those numbers in the point. Feel like you understand how we're doing so far?
Yes.
Sweet. All right. Example 2, your turn. Y equals negative 2x plus 14. Now this one you're going to have to really give yourself some space. And y equals 3/5 x plus 1. So let me give you some advice about this before you start. When I look at this, I think, ooh, 14, that's a high number, right? And we actually want to graph every single point on this. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to shift down my x-axis like that. Make it a little disproportionate.
And I have
Yep.
my card.
Yeah, so what would you like?
What's a snow drive?
One of these?
No.
All right. The Tigre.